Hi guys, it's Bill again, and we've had this incredible heat wave, so it's like 100 every day and it doesn't cool down at night. So I'm trying to cook things in the morning that are easy to reheat at night, and you know, king of leftovers here, right? So I've got some leftover stuff from a Chinese restaurant, and I've made it before, but I want to make it again because it was pretty popular. But you know, I hate re-releasing the exact same recipe because I feel like that's cheating, even though everyone else does it on YouTube. So this time, last time I used baby back ribs that I just took the meat off and cut up. This time I'm going to use Chinese boneless spare ribs. They're one of those things to me, they're kind of like, I really like them. Not everybody does. If you don't, you're not going to like the fried rice. If you do, you're going to think this fried rice is like over the top. So the first thing we got to do is we got to fry. And I'm just going to use a frying pan like I've done before. It's so simple. Let's not make this any more complicated than we have to, right? So, I need about a tablespoon of butter. Getting it zipped along. And I have like a little over half a cup of some chopped up carrot sticks left over from chicken wings. And I got some yellow onion. I'm just going to give this a quick little work around. Get in there. Now we don't have to do this like wok style, like this big huge fire and heat, smoke everywhere. I just want to have it fairly warm. So this is like a little, about basically medium. Okay, maybe I'll turn it up just a hair. I got it all spread out, single layer, and we're just going to give it a second. So I think one of the keys to this is I want like day-old rice. So if you're going to make this, and lots of times I do it, I just cook the rice the day before, put it in some kind of, you know, container. It really dries out if you leave it in the cardboard container from the Chinese restaurant. So you know, just something, right? And this is just, I mean, this is just something that's just like so easy. It can be, you know, lunches for a few days during the week. You know, throw it on a paper plate in the microwave and boom, you've got lunch. Oh, perfect. And you can basically, you know, mix and ratio any amount you want for as big as your frying pan can hold, and maintain heat. You know, if you're using it, the recipe I'm going to put online is actually, you know, kind of that minimal, like 10-inch fry pan that you can only hold so much. I'm actually stretching a little bit further because I want some leftovers. Alright, so next, I've got some scallions. And you know, the white part of the scallion you want to cut pretty thin, but then, you know, throw in some of the other side, the green stuff. It's just kind of a Chinese thing to do, you know, they don't waste anything. It tastes really good anyways. Okay, I got some heat here now, so let's dump this in. And I can smell the carrots is kind of what I was looking for, so I know the carrots are getting nice and cooked. If at any time the pan starts to look dry, you can always add a little more butter. In fact, lots of times right towards the end I'll show you, I put a little bit more in. I've actually heard from experts that to make really good fried rice, at the end you put in a little butter on top, just melt a little butter on top to give it that nice color. Okay, we're getting hot here. So I need about a cup of this leftover rice. And yes, it's going to be all stuck together. Like I said, I'm putting more in because I got a pretty good sized pan here and I want some wicked leftovers. I think it's just about as much as I can hold here. Okay, so I just want to kind of work this in, start breaking it down. And you don't want anything cold from the refrigerator, it's going to really take the heat out of the pan. Stuff's lying everywhere in this pan. Alright, so now we're going to start with how do we make it look like fried rice, right? There's got to be some big secret. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Of course there is. So let's start with I need like a good tablespoon or two of sesame oil, because that's got a lot of flavor that really adds to this. And if you don't like using butter, you can use canola oil. I think butter is just really old school. Well, the American way, right? Oh yeah. It's really looking like it should. The pan's nice and toasty. Everything's getting a good sear to it. Just trying to break up the rice a little bit. And as it heats, it's going to come apart, so don't worry about that. Alright. What's the next thing we got to do? Soy sauce. All sodium. I want about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to get my ribs in here because I want to get them back to temperature. And don't walk away leaving the spatula on the edge because the spatula gets really hot. When I picked it up, I felt that. If you think this looks good so far, you see how carefully I've added everything in stages, maintain some heat. Alright, so the other thing that's really important is, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit because I think I've got everything right about where I want. Oyster sauce gives a beautiful color, and I just want about 2 tablespoons of that. And this stuff is thick. And I think one of the reasons I like the Chinese spareribs or boneless spareribs in this case is the way they cook them. The marinade is just, I like it. It's kind of a sweet, little hot, but it really adds something to the fried rice. Okay, so now I need to make a little hole over here on one side. And I know that my stove, everything tends to run to that corner, which is why I'm doing it this way. And I need to get a little butter. Like I said. And I think that fried rice has to have eggs, right? So all I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this down a little bit more, is I want to get that part hot. I want to crack my eggs, get them in there quick, away from all the rice and stuff. A little bit's going to, it's okay. And then just work the egg around with your spatula. So we can have a little scramble in here. So I want to get this really cooked. And yes, you're going to get a little rice and other stuff in here, but for the most part, I've kept it good. I see how I manipulate my pan so this part is right over the heat. Because we want the egg to be nice and fried. Now, let's chunk it up now that it's cooked. Sometimes you can just kind of take your spatula and kind of cut through it. So I don't want big, huge pieces of egg. Now we need to incorporate everything back together. And last but not least, I got my egg all mixed in here and cooked and looking good. Got a little color from the sauce. And I probably could have put a little more oyster sauce in. So now, I know this is like a big argument with people, but I like peas, so I like putting peas. So the last thing we put in here, a little bit of peas. Half cup. Toast it up. Now I can really turn it down. And this is what fried rice is supposed to look like. And I really like to get everything nice and mixed together. Believe it or not, the rice has a good coat of frying to it. All the veggies and everything look beautiful. Got a nice sheen and everything because we use butter. That's why you always put that extra butter in there towards the end. And everything's cooked. Some people like to splash a little more soy sauce at this point. That's fine. I think it's fine just the way it is, right? So what now do I have to do? Oh, I know what I have to do. Let's put it in a little bowl and take a look at it, right? Now, I hope you think that is like absolutely the bomb. It looks really good. I'm sure it's going to taste really good. That's beautiful. And my friends at our local Chinese restaurant get mad. They have the best takeout food. They get mad, but I will tell you that I almost think that mine's better. All right, and that's saying a lot because I really love their food. But I think, you know, when you can kind of control what you want in it, put in what you want, you can just make a really, really good fried rice. And it's really not hard. I mean, basically you just keep everything flipping around and keep everything hot. I do this, you know, one pan, I think is the only way to go. Otherwise you're making all this stuff up and doing all this stuff. And really the prep time is very little. So I had some leftover carrot sticks, you know, cutting up an onion, what's that? Cutting up a little meat, what's, you know, I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot to it. So I want you to go ahead and try this. Thank you, appreciate you guys. And I got some more stuff coming later. Have a great day.